Alright, YouTube, so today I found this little speaker in my car. This was the car alarm that won't stop going off for the vehicle. And since I was messing with some audio equipment before, as you can see, I decided to mess with this. And so I wanted to see what it was like inside. I wanted to see if it was a little fan or a little speaker. And then I came across this contraption. Now I already removed the screw for the electromagnet. This is the board that powers it and actuates the sequence. There's two screws that hold this cone in that board in. And you have three that hold this front plate on. So, hammer down. And then you have three screws that hold this little dude on there onto the siren. That'd be cool, make a little educational video. What's inside, so here we go. I'm going to tear the speaker open. And the speaker has three screws holding this part together. I pull this up, and I'll show you guys the inside of this. Here's a pretty big magnet for such a little tiny miniature siren. It's roughly almost the size of my palm. And the speaker, believe it or not, almost the size. It's almost the size of the whole thing. Now here's the cone. Little copper coil, as average in a speaker. Material, right there is this dust plate. So it's basically an inverted speaker. It looks like it comes out. So I'm going to go ahead, get this woofer out to the back, because it is removable, which is kind of cool and pretty nice thing that the manufacturer done to this I always like when a company thinks about their customers and oops, I broke something. Like I broke the surround plate a little bit. Just gonna wiggle it through and poke it with a screwdriver to get the rest of the way through. As long as I don't break the woofer thing. It's not even a woofer, I don't know what this is. There's a weird speaker in there. But it does work. It's a very annoying siren. It goes ah, 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 ah. Basically a generic minivan siren. I have the keys to my Jeep right here. It is a Viper siren from the 90s. Model. There's tag number. Here's the number of the siren. 514T siren. I'm going to go ahead and put it back together here. So I'm going to turn the camera towards the work area. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our little woofer thing, whatever you want to call this little abomination. Take our electromagnet. Put like this, because the wiring has to go through. So you put it in, like so. And then you take your three screws that you took out previously. That I took out. You didn't take it out, guys. And there's a certain, you have to get the screws to line up. A little port hole thing. The reason it's not wanting to go in, this is just like a certain way for that. Alright. It goes on a very certain way. I don't understand why this is like it is. Oh, I see. You have to line up with these little circles. Which I think, like that. There you go, now it's flush. Just gonna tighten the three screws. After a little fight, there you go. And you put the screws back in it. This is just like a little reassembly process. And then there's a bottom screw. Tighten that. Somehow this one isn't rusted. Okay. Now for the funner part of this project. There's a little plastic spacer around here somewhere. The screw, and I don't know where to put the spacer for the screw. So, look for that. Just found the screw. Just don't see the little spacer. Alright, I see the spacer here. This is a little tiny ring. I'm gonna put this motor back and get back to the work area here. Now you take your board that previously was removed. Everything looks okay in here. Resistors are good and all that, so really not a lot to worry about. Connect that. To here. Oh man. Connect this to there, and you take your screw and you attach your screw to your magnet. Okay. So that's that step, and this is the old assembly. Now you slide it into here. Now what you want to do is you grab your group of wires and you feed them through the little system here. I recommend doing one by one because it's kind of a pain in the ass. I want to modify this, so I might replace the speaker in here with a better one, because I want to replace it and make a PA system with this speaker. I think that would be pretty cool. I want to see how user-friendly it is to tear it apart, because I really like the way it looks. I want to clean it up, paint it white, mount it to the roof of my car behind the grill. So whenever I'm hanging out with friends, I can do stupid stuff with the car. I think it'll be easiest if I connect all these wires together. Like that. And then just run them through the bottom. One by one. Because this way I won't have a problem moving the wiring in the future. No, you know what I mean. Take these wires, you feed them through. I really don't know why this is so difficult, but it is, and I don't like it. I'm trying to think of how I could do this. You have to just feed these through a tiny little spot, and you can't take this housing apart, which would totally make my life easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab a little bit of wire, something, run it through there, and then just run it through the wires. Okay, so I got something here. It's a Hunter original switch housing with a ton of wires, so I'm going to go ahead and just cut the cable. Doesn't really matter which one, because it's really damaged anyway. So we're going to cut the pink. I think because the pink's is one of the worst ones. Okay. So it's too short, so it's not going to work. So I'm going to cut a lead off it. I'm going to cut the white lead. Okay, now we're going to connect our wiring to the base. So you take your stuff, take the wire, smaller wire, and you wrap it around, and you connect it knot. Now, no, the knot's not gonna get jammed in it or anything. The knot's just to keep the wire from slipping off it while you're feeding it through. This is probably the most vital step to this, is taking your wires and then twisting these together. Because if you don't twist them into a giant jumble where you run them through, and cutting them evenly, they will not connect. There you go. I had to cut these nice and even, just so that this way they go through. So, without any further ado, take your wire, you feed it through your base. The thing I'm worried about, actually, since they're all together, I might be able to run it. This is essentially, I think, a PA speaker, or at least a rip-off of one. And it was used as a car alarm speaker. But it's still a cool thing to have. It's still kind of a funny little novelty. Alright, well, the wires are through. So now comes the fun part. Connecting your quote-unquote horn to your quote-unquote siren. Now, this isn't by all means even resemble a siren, but, you know, this isn't to be a how-to. This is kind of just watching yours truly struggle to put back together the simplest of things. Which, as you can tell, I will not be a good candidate for a new YouTube. For the YouTube people, those DIY channels, I'm not interested in doing any of that stuff. That's for the Chinese. That's for those people in China, like Mr. Tool and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure they're from China, but they seem like they're from China. But I don't even have chickens. My friend does, but I don't. I just don't understand that. But yeah, I usually work on my projects every once in a while. I cut the wires too short. That's okay. I'm going to be replacing it anyway. I'm probably going to replace the speaker anyway, so I'm going to take the board out because it's just going to be hardwired to the car. So let's connect these two together. Put the screw in. And then try to put the other one in. This isn't really working in my favor. That's fine. Be a bastard all you want. I would like to have this thing fixed before I go to my next project, but it's all good. Because I don't like having one thing and then having another big thing to fix. So I wonder if I broke the screw holes, or if like board's in the way. Oh yeah, the board's kind of in the way. Said to tweak the board. Fix that down. There we go. And tighten. Hopefully that fixes it. Nope. Still won't screw down. What a surprise. However, that one did. But this one won't go in. That's because of how crooked this thing's mounted. But